Welcome to this admittedly very rushed video on how to set up the remote mob extension that I made. I was working on a proper explanation video of how this all worked, and that was going to include a setup guide as well. But I've seen a lot of people asking for it in the Discord, and Lawrence has also asked me if I could if he could release the string, but I don't really want to show people, like give this out to people without telling them how to use it, because I am aware that this is a pretty complex system to set up, especially for someone who doesn't know a lot about circuits or how I design things. And I don't want to be flooded with questions on how this thing works when a good explanation video could probably clear all of that up. So if you want to look at how this thing roughly works for now, I recommend Lawrence's video. It's pretty good. It covers a good top level explanation about it, but it doesn't really show you how to set up the entire system. So yeah, that's what I'm for today. So first I'm going to get back into, oh wow, editor mode doesn't have my time. Let me quickly get rid of that. All right, pause the time as well, I guess. So first we're gonna get rid of all of this because we don't want it anymore. We can even get rid of that. Oh, that's the rocket sections. Okay, I can get rid of those as well. And we can hop on over here and make our new system, because the old one, yeah, we don't really want that anymore, because that's also one thing that Lawrence maybe didn't mention. Maybe it was obvious, but you can't have two of these systems communicating on the same channel. You're gonna have to differentiate them, like put them on different channels and such. But that's probably gonna be something that I'll cover in the real video. For now, just don't build two of these and you'll be fine. So you have this book, which is grouped into three categories. The first one is something that you need to build when you build the requester, which is the main logic and closed circuit loop. There's also these things for expanding it, and then here's your receiver module. These have instructions inside of them, and they will cover what I say right now, but some people, and I myself as well, like it when people show me how to do it. So first we're going to place the main logic component down. I have superbots enabled, so that, yeah, that works. And then we connect it to the power. Now you'll see it scanning here. It'll be doing something. It's initializing itself. That's fine. Just let it do that. One of the things that is wrong here right now is that this lamp is on. It shouldn't be on. That's normally made so a request is ready and sent to delivery, but there's no request in here. That's just the order that the game printed the combinators made it think that the request was ready. So to reset this, you're going to go to this combinator here, which should have the input signal green, output signal green. So with these settings here, you can just click the input and the output with the green wire, remove the green wire and add it again, and that'll reset the latch and the lamp will turn off, and then you're good to go. You shouldn't hook up this. I'm going to turn on alt mode. You shouldn't hook up this or the rocket fuel yet, because basically as soon as it has a rocket in here, it'll start launching, or I guess it will start accepting requests into the rocket system, and that is one thing that can break if you haven't completed the system. So right now you can either say, okay, I'm done. I don't want any more of these modules, which kind of defeats the purpose of having these in the first place, because then you could just load it directly into the rocket. But I don't know, maybe your system is very small and you don't want it, and you just want to use this. So I guess you could either do that, or what you can do, what I'm going to do, is you can snap on these modules here, which are called interplanetary mall extension temporary storage segment, which is, we're already in the second row here. You can snap these on here, and they perfectly fit over the other stuff. They will automatically connect the wires and everything, so you don't really have to worry about it. I'm gonna build 4 of them below each other. There you go. And then I'm going to place this blueprint here, which is called closed circuit loop, and it also has the red triangle to it. The red triangle basically means that you have to build these no matter what your setup is. So now you have to connect the belts. Just do that in alternating fashion. You'll just alternate between left and right. The first one already kind of illustrates that, so you just alternate always. So you have this, like, you have left, right, left, right, left, right, and so on. And that's pretty much your provider setup. Hello, Future Fox here. When pasting this down, the game had accidentally deleted the data inside of the rocket launch pad and inside of the receiver and the transmitter here. So if you're pasting this down, make sure that these are present. The settings here are supposed to be destination position, super fancy mall. The launch condition is supposed to be on green when full. And this here, just set this to any landing pad name. And the receiver is supposed to listen to the channel super fancy space mall rocket requests, and this is supposed to listen to super fancy space mall rocket. You can see it's already scanning over here. You can just leave that be for now. You can connect these as well if you want. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm just not gonna bother putting it on the belt. I'm just going to put an infinity chest, or put an aggregate chest there. Save me a little bit of work. Oh yeah, and of course you need to put roboports in there as well. Those are not in the blueprint, but obviously because we're using logistic chests, we need the roboports to be able to put things inside of these. It's also one of the things I should suggest to have a robust robot production, because with Arendel's robot attrition, there's gonna be a lot of robots dying. But yeah, you can see the rocket is launching, or I guess it's not launching, it's preparing, but it doesn't have any fuel yet. Let me hook that up as well. Alright, so now you can see the rocket is fueling up. Can make this a little faster. Okay, that's as fast as it'll go. Yeah, so that's that. These here in the values in the requester, you don't in the provider, you don't really need to change anything of the values except for in this giant blob of combinators. There is here. In this combinator here, which has just the 2 dots. The smaller equals 50 basically dictates what the range of numbers that it will scan through is. So as you've probably saw in Lawrence's video, every single outpost has its own ID. And if you have more than 50, you need to increase this number to, let's say, 200, then it will scan up to 200. Of course, we can't see 200. Because we don't have enough Nixie tubes, but I guess you can, if you're at the point, you can just add another Nixie tube there. I didn't feel like that was necessary, because even having 50 planets is probably pretty overkill. You're just gonna have to believe me that counts to 200. We've seen it go past 50. So yeah, that's your provider setup. Now we're going to the requester, and Lawrence actually showcased the requester. But I'm just going to do it again here. I would just like to commentate a little more on that. So we just set it up. We place all of the blocks. I guess that's on me. Put that there. I'm going to replace this with an infinity chest instead of the active provider, because I don't have a local logistic grid that can actually process the items here. Normally you would have to send these back to your old base or use them in your rocket parts going out of the planet somehow. You do have to put a deconstruction planner in here, because blueprints cannot do that for you. To complete the setup of this, what you need to do is you need to adjust the ID for this. For some reason there's 10 in here. I need to change that in the blueprint string, because normally you're supposed to start at -1 here, because -1 is just a number that'll never be checked. So you choose an ID for this. I'm just gonna choose 1 because it's the first one, and there's stuff going on because I messed. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are going wrong here right now. One of the things that you can do here is set a name for your thing. This one was actually copied, interesting enough. This is called name here. What you need to do for your name is you need to know powers of 2 basically. Each one of these is a sort of bit mask for your display letter. Yeah, let's write Factorio. So I like to start from the back. So we start with an O at 1024, because that's 2 to the power of 10.
we started with, we used to use an I at 512, an R at 256, 265, no, 256, an O at 128, a T at 64, a C at 32, an A at 16, and an F at 8.
Factorio. And now if we give this a request of, let's say, 100 transport belts, and we send it off. This is, by the way, how you set it off. I don't know if Lawrence showcased this, but there's like a button here that's hidden. And with push button installed, push button is the mod that makes these buttons, which is very nice because they give out a one-tick signal. Lawrence just went in here and clicked this, but that's actually not how you're supposed to trigger them. It does work, but it's more comfortable if you just hover over this and press F. I don't know if it's F normally. There's like a standard, there's like a key bind that you can check for this. I'm just going to turn this back down to 20 because this is ridiculous. That's something that apparently went wrong as well. Somehow these are not saved. Alright, now I can see it. It requests Factorio and the transport belts, and it'll automatically put the 100 in, and now you can see that it also put that. And now the rocket's going. There you go, and now it's starting to launch. So yeah, now they're over there. They're being taken out. The rocket modules are being crafted into compacted modules, are being sent to the chest where they're destroyed. That's just normally you would put the those into your logistics system and use them somewhere else. And another thing that this does, is it also automatically puts robots into your robot network. So any robots will just land in here, and you can also see that it adds robots as an item to your count. So if you say, I want construction robots, I want 50 construction robots inside of here or something, it'll automatically put the construction robots into the RoboPort. It won't keep them in the logistics system. Another thing that you saw when I accidentally triggered it before is something that Lawrence hasn't mentioned at all in his video, which is the sort of error detection that I have, which is connected to this speaker over here. This speaker here. You can see it's also not named, so you have to sort of give it a name. I just like to put this as the same name that shows up inside of the provider module. So if we just write Factorio in here, the Factorio in here as well, this will basically sound whenever a rocket was supposed to arrive but hasn't arrived. This can happen due to the rocket crashing or some weird power fluctuations. There are issues when the requester unexpectedly runs out of power, so make sure you have a stable grid, but it should just basically, it'll stop the it should stop the operation of the mall network. It won't completely cause it to fling random stuff at your outposts. It'll just maybe get stuck and not launch and just scream at you. So I'll just provide an alternative destination and make this one not able to take out the deconstruction pointer. If I request this now and tell it to launch, you can see the robots are being prepared, as I said. And now they're being loaded into the rocket. But the rocket will not launch over here. It will instead go over here. This is just simulating that the rocket is crashing, because rockets can crash and then they will just land somewhere and not on the landing pad. I didn't want the system to just ask for another, because if a rocket crashed, you're gonna probably have to do some cleanup anyways. So you can see it's loading, it's landing over here, but this one hasn't received any rockets yet. So it'll just take a little while. And you can start to hear the alarm. The lamp here turns red, And you will have a notification here that says Factorio, rocket went missing, see the map for more details, and of course you can just click it on there and then you can see, oh no, it's complaining about not having rockets. And the way that you make this shut up is you go up here to the button that says shut up and you click it, and then it's done. And at this point it would request the other items because it just returns to normal operation. So what I would recommend you do is you seek out the rocket that went missing and scavenge it for parts and then just put those in there. Because in that case, you will see now that the rocket doesn't have any requests anymore because all of the items were there, they just weren't delivered to your space. Let's trigger the second problem, which is issues at the provider, where the rocket for some reason could not launch. That could be because some communication errors, maybe an outpost went out of power or something, and just the rocket couldn't launch for whatever reason. You can see the lamps turn green whenever the rocket should be ready to launch. It waits a little bit every time. And now it's turning red, and for some reason the speaker is not alarming. Oh yeah, the volume is at 0. Yeah, I guess I'll keep it at 0. It's kind of nice. So you can just see that here, novice cargo rocket failed to launch. And it's this here. You will see the items inside are still there, and it will also not delete the request, so you can see what outpost it was supposed to go to. You can go over there and investigate what happened. So you can go over here and you can see, ooh, the deconstruction planner is not in there. Oh no, I rotated the inserter. So you just rotate it back, check it out. And to resolve the problem now, you can just launch the rocket, because as soon as you launch the rocket, it'll resume normal operation. You can just, boop. You can see it cleared the request, the alarm state is resolved, the lamps are no longer red, and it'll start requesting again. Let me know if you have any other questions. I will gladly answer them on Lawrence's Discord server. You can also just message me directly if you want. I'll try to get the proper explanation video out in a timely manner. It's still sort of in the works because I haven't really done a bigger video on my channel yet, especially one where I have to talk and actually act along with animation, and that's currently a little bit hard for me, but I'll hopefully get it cleared up and then I'll release that one as well and hopefully explain all of this a little better. Alright, have fun.